What is going on, Queen City Reefers? Welcome to another episode here with Queen City Reefs and more. Today we are going to be back on this tank. I did lie to y'all. I said that I was going to be discussing ammonia next, but then I remembered that I had been sent a product from I want to say it's pronounced Aqua. Here I'm going to show you the box of what's coming, but I think it's pronounced Aqua or AQQA. This is a gyre style pump, but it's meant for smaller tanks because, as you can see, it's not the blades on both sides. It's only on one side. It's a small factor of gyro style, and it's made from AQQA. Now that I've said that disclosure that it was sent to me, they did not ask for me to say anything specific other than just let y'all know where y'all can find this pump on Amazon, or the links that you know and that it will take for you to purchase it. I have not actually tried it. I'm going to be trying it here with y'all right now, but I wanted to kind of give y'all a heads up that of course this is a pump that was provided by them. That being said, again, this is a gyro style pump meant for, it doesn't really say with the size of tanks that it's meant for, but I'll put it here in the text below because I guess I'll do a research once I finish this, because I probably should have informed myself a bit better. But the tank that I want to put it on is not actually ready. Let me show you that tank real quick. Let me introduce y'all here to the Innovative Marine 25-gallon lagoon. We will talk more in depth about this in the future. I'm not adding another tank to the Queen City Reef studio here. I'm actually going to be replacing a specific tank and replacing it with this here. I do want to talk about in a future video why I decided to go for this specific tank, because there were a few that I was looking at and I finally decided to just get this one, and there's quite a few reasons why. But again, this is the tank that I want to really use that pump in, but because it's not ready, I'm still waiting for the stand, I'm still waiting for the sand, I'm still waiting for everything I'm going to use for this tank. So, and I'm running out of time of the agreed time for me to really put out the video on this pump. So we're gonna go ahead and just try it out on that other Innovative Marine. All right, so here is the Innovative Marine SR2 80-gallon. This is another shallow reef, but not as shallow as the one that I just showed you, because the one I just showed you is almost 12 inches tall. This one I believe is 16 inches tall. This is where we're going to be testing out the gyro pump. As you can see, I already have it hooked up. I have it with the controller right here because, again, it's not going to stay on this one. I actually already use a different gyro pump right there, as you can see. I turned off all the flow. As you can see, the corals look like they're not doing anything, and because I want to just see the power of this by itself and see how much water it moves. In this tank originally, though, I use a full standard gyro style pump, and I use two of the Nero 5s, one on this side and one on the other end over there. You could barely see it, so it could go through the back of the scape here. As you can see, I don't know if y'all have seen this tank in a while, but I have quite a bit of coral in here now. A lot of this is part of what I have on queencityreefs.com. So for those that haven't checked out queencityreefs.com, make sure that you go check it out and let me know what you think. That being said, let's go ahead and power this baby up and let's see how much flow this actually can provide. We have a problem, I know. This plug here is giving me a headache. There we go. Oh wow, so right there, I believe it is at 100% already. So turning on, it turned on at 100%, and as you can see, you see all the little bubbles. It pushes water across 4 feet. But I have it at the very top. That's why there's a lot of bubbling and the corals are barely moving, because what's going on here is that it's creating the flow right above the corals. I'm not the only content creator that has actually gotten this flow pump here, Wavemaker, to do a review on. And there's one thing that I agree with them when it comes to the cons, and that is that you are not able to adjust which way the water sprays out. So it's literally straight from wherever you put the tank. You can't adjust this down or up in order to, but you know, it's as easy as just moving the pump up and down. As you can see, it is creating quite a bit of turbulence at the top, and you start seeing here, you'll start noticing some movement here on the torches now. That is not a lot of movement, but I'm okay with that. You'll see some movement right here on some of these, barely any movement here on the hammers. We're gonna try other modes here. Let me show you the controller real quick. As you can see, it's set at 100%. The more you have it on, the more you start seeing the flow here in the corals. For such a little pump across a 4-foot tank, it's pretty nice. But of course, this is not made for a 4-foot tank. It's made for absolutely smaller tank. And I'm hoping that it's not too powerful for the tank that I just showed you, but that's 100%. So you have the ability to actually bring it down lower. And so far, I'm thinking that it's actually gonna work out for the tank. I had no idea. I just, you know, they asked me if I wanted to try one of their products out and give it a review, and I looked through a list, and this is what I was actually interested in, knowing that I was getting that new tank. So it goes without saying that I'm going to be using it long term, and definitely will come back to you and let you know what I think of this long term. So let's try different modes. All right, so it looks like mode 1 is going to be your constant mode, and that is again at 100%. If I use it at any less, I don't think I'm going to get any coral movement. But at 100%, you can see some movement, but not adequate, because you want to see a bit more. But again, it's a small half units, way smaller than the gyro that I already have in there. So for this little pump to be able to pump water across, as you can see, at least 3 feet significantly, and then still be some water movement right there at the 4 feet mark, I think this is a pretty good option for smaller tanks. I'll definitely bring y'all back whenever it is, whenever my smaller tank is ready for a wave maker, and then see how it does in a 2-foot tank, because that there is going to be half of the size. So here's the middle part, and so 2 feet would get right there where there's still a lot of turbulence at the 2-foot mark. Now we're going to move to mode 2. I believe this is going to be like your pulse mode. So as you can see, there is pulses right there at the water, and then you use the knob in order to make it a fast pulse or a slower pulse. And I moved it all the way to the right to where I'm assuming is going to be quite a few seconds before it does anything. So we'll move it back to the left, and now it's not doing anything. There it goes. We'll do mode 3. It seems like another type of pulse mode. And I moved the knob to be slower pulses, but it doesn't seem to be coming back. So, all right, so I guess this is gonna be one of those things where you're gonna have to definitely look at the manual to get familiar with the modes. A pump like this can move coral in a 4-foot tank, and as you can see, it does, but you'll definitely need more than one in order to get that accomplished. But as you can see in pulse mode, it actually moves them a lot more than what it did than in constant mode, and I think it's because of that back and forth. See, that's a type of movement, gentle, but still definitely give the polyps enough movement to be able to get rid of any debris or any food that lands on them, or whatever the case may be. That's pretty good. Now you'll see barely any movement over here with the Goniopora. This right here is above the 2-foot mark. Not a lot. Very, very gentle movement. All right, so first look, honestly, I mean, again, there's gonna be something that I would have to use long-term in order to then let y'all know if it's something that I recommend. I will leave the links below to where you can find this pump in case it's something you wanna try out yourself. I don't see the difference between a pump like this and a J-bow or a J-cod or a Hyger. They all seem to be, you know, the controller looks very similar to controllers like that. So if you have confidence in the J-bows, the Hygers, and you know, those Chinese pumps, I think that this is equivalent to those. And you know, in some cases you've heard reports that people have had them for years, and others you'll hear reports that they last about a year or two and then they give out. But at the price that these come at, you know, when you compare it to some of these more expensive pumps that cost in the $300 to $400 range, people will tell you that they prefer spending the $50 that this costs multiple times across multiple pumps, because it's just something that they feel is a smarter move than spending it on a $400 pump. And we've seen a lot of these $400 pumps fail, and the warranty only being a year, that now you're stuck with a pretty much paperweight. Not all pumps, but I think they all have their ups and downs. If you want my recommendation, you want a pump to last, you have to do your due diligence of cleaning them. I don't care what pump it is. You definitely have to do the citric baths or whatever the case may be in order to get all the debris off of them, and maybe do that every 3 to 6 months. I normally do it every 6 months. And you'll have a pump that will last you quite some time because you're keeping it like brand new pretty much. So that's all I'm really gonna, I don't wanna make this a longer video than it should be. I really hope you enjoyed taking a look at this new brand name, Aqua or AQQA. Let me bring you here to the box again so you kind of get familiar. You'll also find the links in the description below. But this is what it is. It is a AQQA wave maker pump. This is the AQ111-15 watts. So far I do like it, and I will definitely be using it as a primary pump on the new tank that I just showed y'all, and I will keep y'all posted maybe 6 months from now to see if it's still working, if I still have it, and if it's still doing what it's supposed to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for tuning in. Make sure that if you haven't already, subscribe, and the next video, I'm not kidding this time, will be about the Mega Matrix, and it will be about ammonia dosing. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell in order to make sure that you get notified every time I release a new video. And if you like this video, if there's any comments, questions, or concerns that you want or have about this pump, make sure you leave it in the comments below. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.